A pet shelter recorded how many animals were adopted each month for the past 10 years. This includes 120 months of data. Yeah, that makes sense. 10 years times 12 months per year. The mean number of adoptions across all 120 months, the population mean, was 45 animals. Nina then randomly selected a sample of 5 of those months to answer questions about the overall 10-year period. Her sample data is the following. Complete the statement about Nina's sample. All right. Nina's sample mean is how many animals? Okay. Well, it's actually unusual that you would need a sample data where you already know the population parameters, in this case, the population mean, but let's just go with it. So if this is her sample data, what is the mean of it? Well, we just have to add 60 plus 62 plus 64 plus 66 plus 68, and we would want to divide this by 5 and see, let's see what this is going to be. If we just said 0 plus 2 is 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 6 is 12 plus 8 is 20, and then we have 3, 6, then we have all the 60s. So this would be 320 divided by 5, which is equal to 64. And this actually makes sense because even if you look at this data, the average of 60 and 68 is 64. The average, or I should say the mean of 62 and 66 is 64. And then we just have a 64 here. So Nina's sample mean is 64 animals. Based on the sample mean, the sample is or is not a reasonable representation of the population. So reasonable representation is a little bit of a squishy term. I would prefer to see some type of threshold for what defines reasonable, but I'm assuming they mean how close it is. And if most of the data is, I don't know, let's call it from 20 to 70, and now we got a mean that's a good bit higher than 45, I would just go with is not. That's what I would think that this question asker is going for. But what reasonable represents could depend a lot, depending on what the actual data looks like and how you define reasonable. So, and then they tell us the population in the scenario is the 120 months of data from the past 10 years. Yes, that's right. And just to be clear, what I said earlier is if you already know the population data, it's often unusual to then take a sample. Usually you're trying to take a sample to estimate what's going on in a population when you don't have all of the population data. But sometimes you might want to do a sample. Maybe it's easier to calculate certain things, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe that's what Nina's trying to do here. Who knows? Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.